panelists. So we would like to start the discussion with the definition of entrepreneurship, because there's a lot of school of thought when it comes to entrepreneurship. My brother PK has his own definition when it comes to entrepreneurship, and we have been arguing about this every time. And also, the reasons why people even become entrepreneurs is something that needs to be looked at, because an MIT study shows that only 12% of developed nations call themselves entrepreneurs. But when we come to Africa, we have over 75% people calling themselves what? Entrepreneurs. This is a challenge, and this is an issue, because looking at the gap, it's so wide, and looking at also the development of these two nations, it's very wide. So I would like to start with my own mentor, Miss Anita, to give us the definition, her thoughts on entrepreneurship.
Okay, thank you very much, Tommy.
Thank you.
I think that entrepreneurship is, let me look at it from this way. Recently there's been a shift from the way people usually define, people do business these days. Traditionally, an entrepreneur would be someone who would put the factors of production together to make some profits, okay? But these days, we have this trend where people call themselves social entrepreneurs, and you wonder what that is. And I would say that beyond just making profits or putting the factors of production together to make profit, there's also the aspects where an entrepreneur would want to see impact, okay, to solve a societal problem where impact is seen. So the person would find a problem, a social problem in society, and try to use business approaches to solve that problem, and at the same time making some profits out of it. So that is what I see entrepreneurship being, and social entrepreneur in that sense. So, to have impact in whatever production process you are doing, in solving a societal problem. So that is my short view about what entrepreneurs are.
Sure. So, Mr. Ferry, you can take yours.
Okay. Basically, entrepreneurship has diverse definitions and from different schools of thought. But I think the basic or the simplest definition for entrepreneurship would be finding an idea and then commercializing the idea to make profit, and at the same time making impact. So you come up with an idea, and then you don't just keep the idea. You don't just let it be an idea, but then you take it to the market. You make sure people pay for whatever idea you are bringing on board, and then in a sense you are commercializing it. And so once you commercialize it, you make money from it. You are making impact. People also find value in the idea you are providing to them. That's basically what entrepreneurship is. But like as my sister was saying, these days there's something called social entrepreneurship, which is basically people doing business, but they are not making profit. So even though you have an idea that it's impacting people's lives, people are finding value in it, but it's not for profit, and that's social entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is broad, but the simplest definition is what I think is having an idea, commercializing it, and then making impact as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So we've had, please let it go to Prince. He just joined us. So okay, we have one here already. All right. So Prince just joined us, and Derek. Oh, you are Prince. Okay. Derek just joined us, and I want him to introduce himself first, and then he also talk about his view on entrepreneurship. We've had two views already, which is talking about impact and also finding an idea and commercializing that idea. Is it all about finding an idea or making an impact? What actually is entrepreneurship? Derek.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Or is it after? It's still morning, late morning. My name is Derek. I run Platinum Africa Solutions Limited. We are a business consulting firm that helps businesses to strategize, organize, and globalize in Africa. I run a company here in Ghana and then in Kenya as well. I'm also the creator of the Business Startup Clinic, a multinational event that is helping businesses and startup founders from different countries to have access to practical tips, strategies, networks, and opportunities for their businesses. Over the past few years we've been existing, we've helped a lot of dead businesses to rise up again. We've helped startups to become profitable. Most of our business plans that we've drawn have helped clients to acquire over $4 million of funding and to help their businesses revamp to another level. So basically, that is what I do with my life, solving people's business problems every day, every time. So entrepreneurship, for me, one thing I've learned to do in my process, and I think most of you here are students. I started my company when I was in school. I'm a product of UPSA. I just got out of school last year, and I started my company with a borrowed laptop. So I know what it is like to start with nothing, but to grow it into something. So that process over the past 3 years has taught me a lot of redefinitions. So I've redefined a lot of things in my own terms. Like I have my own definition for who a CEO is, obviously who an entrepreneur should be, because of the process that I have been through, starting from nothing and building it into something. You understand? So here's my definition of entrepreneurship or an entrepreneur. One thing that I always say on every platform that I get is, we don't need just entrepreneurs. We don't need the social media CEOs and the social media entrepreneurs. We are looking for true entrepreneurs. So I would redefine who a true entrepreneur or what true entrepreneurship is to me. This is somebody that could just basically get something doing with his life from a company or something, but has identified a problem, connects with the problem, is passionate about the problem, and has a solution for the problem. In the end, it's going to make impact and also be able to make something out of it. If I say something, it's wide. You could get networks, you could get a job, you could get money out of it. If you're going to delve into all of these impact analysis, we're also going to look at what people have redefined as intrapreneurship, even within an organization. So this is somebody that thinks outside the box. You understand me? That is entrepreneurship. Thinking outside the box, you are a risk taker because you don't know whether the thing is going to work. I think entrepreneurs have the most faith because you don't know whether the thing is going to work, but you just make the move. I started by borrowing my friend's laptop. I didn't know whether it was going to work. It took me about 2 years, and it worked. Do you understand me? So that's basically entrepreneurship. I solve problems because I'm passionate about the problems that I'm seeing. I want to find a solution to it. So an entrepreneur has a dream, or entrepreneurship is having a dream and wanting to live that dream and taking all the risks there is to take to make sure that dream comes to pass. The question I would ask everyone is, what is your Ghanaian dream? For example, my dream is that I would want to walk into every shop in Ghana and I want to see made in Ghana cornflakes, made in Ghana chocolate, made in Ghana sausage, made in Ghana milk. We complain about our economy. It's tough. It's because we are not doing production. We are not doing manufacturing. We are importing almost everything we eat. So this problem is actually an opportunity for every one of you here. Imagine you come up with your own milk. Imagine you come up with your own cornflakes. Imagine you come up with something that is not there, that we are complaining about. That is entrepreneurship for me, solving a need. And because you are passionate about that need, you connect with the need, and that makes you a true entrepreneur. That sets you apart from those that will start a business because somebody started it and it's profitable. But this one is true. They have a connection to the problem, and they're actually finding solutions to the problem, creating opportunities for others to help solve the problem, whilst creating an impact in the society and making some money for it. Whether it's a social entrepreneurship or a business entrepreneurship, in the end, there is money in there. You understand me? So that is my general overview of what an entrepreneur or entrepreneurship is like.
Wow, that is so comprehensive. Yes.
Okay. So a lot has been said already, but to add up, I think there are two key things in the world now. It's about problems and it's about needs.
Yes.
So as an entrepreneur, you are somebody who just wants to solve either a problem or a need to get money or to make impact. So for example, if you have a case study, Facebook is an entrepreneur. He's not solving any of your problems because you can still use your phone to call your friend to chat with him. But the basic thing is that he has found a need that you want to connect with the person faster or more easier or more convenient for you. So that's what he has solved. If you look at the mechanic by the roadside, he is solving a problem of your car. At the same time, he's making money out of it. So to be an entrepreneur, just get a need or a problem in your community, or maybe you can start thinking global and see what does somebody in China wants to solve. Then you can be able to create a solution to that and then get to sell it for money or for impact.
Okay, thank you very much. Those who couldn't join us can also join us via Facebook, because what we are doing is being viewed live on Facebook on AAU TV. So you can see the cameras are on. So those who are not here with us can send in their comments, and we will get correspondence, and then our panelists will address each one of the questions that they send in. Thank you very much. Ms. Emily, yes.
I thought I was going to be left out because I don't know what else. No, really, as in I was going to say, okay, I'll pass because they've said basically everything. But I think that I will also add to what they have said. Entrepreneurship is basically about connecting the dots, problems and solutions via innovation. Now, Derek said something. He said he has a passion to go to the shop or the mart and see made in Ghana this, made in Ghana that. Currently, we have some people who are already doing that. But what would make me pick up coffee made in Ghana and not make coffee made in France, Nescafe? What is the difference? Innovation. And I think that a lot has been said about entrepreneurship, but nobody is bold enough to be different. What sets your product apart? Dangote is not a Westerner. He's as African as we are. But we have Gasem cement, but people rather buy Dangote. So it's not just about, it is also about being different, being the difference, making a difference, maximizing wealth creation. So that is my definition.
Wow, that's so comprehensive. So we have, in our definitions, we have ideas, we have problems, we have people who are also looking at impact, and we have innovation. And most importantly, risk. Because an entrepreneur takes risks. Before you go out or before you put your product out there, it's a risk. Before you bring all these resources together and say, let me commercialize it, it's a risk. So then the next discussion, or the next thing I want us to discuss is, why do people go into entrepreneurship? What is driving people to be entrepreneurs? As you are all entrepreneurs here, what is driving you? I want Emmeline to take it, since she was the last person to take the first submission.
Two things, passion and purpose. I'll start with purpose first, because I mean, whatever anybody here is doing is out of the makeup of the person's soul. So what it is, that the seed that has been sown in you by your creator is what will, ginger you to even want to take a step. Then beyond your purpose, you have to be passionate about it. And that is where Derek's true entrepreneurship comes in. It has to be you. If it's not you, you won't do it. And so, for example, what do? I'm an employee, but yes, primarily I'm a leadership consultant and a life coach. Why am I into that? I want to see people, I want to inspire people to be who they can be. So if you are meant to be an astronaut, you are meant to be a business person, you're meant to be a doctor, I want to make sure that you know that that is what you can do, and even do extra. It's not just about being what everybody, occupations are now like common. Everybody is doing everything these days. And there is no differentiating factor anymore except what it is that makes you unique. So I want to push you to be better than what you are. I can't stand people who don't know who they are. I can't stand people who don't have a sense of vision, who don't have a sense of passion. There is more to you than meets the eye. So for me, purpose and passion.
Wow. Purpose and passion. I hope you are jotting down you are taking down some notes. Yes.
Okay, so recently we had a discussion about why people become entrepreneurs, and we were trying to figure out is the reason being unemployment situations in the country.
Exactly.
Because right now, you go to Facebook, as you said, we have a lot of social media CEOs. And people are just creating businesses just because they want to impress people. And they don't even get to see if whether it is their passion or it is something that they are doing to just impress people. So the discussion that was hovering around that was, should we just get all unemployed graduates to go and start businesses? The answer was no.
No.
Because, as Miss Emmeline said, not all of them have purpose in life. Not all of them even know what they actually want to do. So for you to be able to really get an idea and then stick to it, draw a plan that this is where you want to take it to, I think it needs more of passion. If you don't have the passion, after 1 week, after 2 months that you don't even get profit, you will just take the hat off and then try another thing, or probably go and get a job. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to be somebody who is so passionate about what you want to do, so that anywhere to take you to, you should be ready. If it's going to take you, to enter some big risk where maybe your life is in danger, go for it. I have a friend in India who actually lost his house because he has an organization, he organized an event, took money from the bank and couldn't pay. But yet still, he's still happy and he's so passionate about what he does.
Yes.
Even though he has lost his house, right? He's living with his family in a single room house in India. He still flaunts it on social media. But that's why he has passion and he knows his purpose. And he knows the impact that he's making in people's life with what he's doing. So I think that as young people, let's take the idea of that because I am unemployed, let me start a business. Try and see if whether you have passion for what you want to do and you know where you want to take it. And I think you have a true definition of what you really want to be as an entrepreneur.
Thank you very much. So that explains why we have a lot of businesses in Africa. Let me put Africa, because looking at the disparity between us and then the developed world is so wide. So everybody comes out, I am an entrepreneur, and that person is owning one business whereby it's a sole proprietorship business and only one employer. Only one employee, sorry. So you understand. People go into entrepreneurship because of what? Unemployment, which is really, really bad. And looking at the programs and the policies that is being rolled out in our country, it looks like the system is driving most of unemployed youth to go into entrepreneurship, which is an issue that we, the youth, need to address. Because let me say, for the past 6 months, there's been a lot of projects that has been rolled out by our current government, which is directed towards entrepreneurship. Where is the training? You understand? So let the discussion continue. I don't want to take it off our panel. Yes.
Thank you very much. For me, I would answer this question really practically. I'll let you connect with the dots in my life. The reason why I step into entrepreneurship, for an example. I believe I need to give you something you wouldn't find on Google. And here's the thing. For me, I got to a point where I was working in the bank, and I lost my job, and I found my purpose. Purpose comes in. There was a need for me to become somebody. There was something that I wrote on my Facebook, my Instagram wall, that struck me so hard. I think that was a few days ago, and it made me start writing my second book, which is titled Testing the Paint 2, but the subtitle is Living Your Best Life. Let me read it to you shortly. It reads, you know what? Go and live your best life. People will always be people, and life will always be life. Again, live your best life. Quit that job to start your own if you want to. Travel anywhere you want to if you want to. Quit anyone toxic for you. Cut off anything and anyone that drains life out of you. Just go ahead and live your best life, because when you die, the world will not stop moving. It struck me so hard, even though it came from myself. But what am I trying to say here? It is time to live your best life. And that was the point I got to. I realized I needed to be more. I was more than a cubicle in the bank. I was more than just waking up every morning and going to the bank and, I was a bank teller and then doing the same old thing. Even though I got pushed out of the bank, I think it was God's purpose. In that moment, I found who I was, and I found my purpose being lifting others up. So what I do actually comes to me naturally. The ideas come to me naturally. I don't struggle for it because it's in line with my purpose. Now, what am I saying? I'm saying that I think the real reason why we should want to do something more is that there is a life to live which is supposed to be our best life. But the question I ask you is, then what is your best life? You understand? I got to a point where I realized that it's one life. I need to take a risk. I need to be more. I need to give what is here out every day of my life. I cannot stand in front of God one day and tell him that I was so busy wasting 25 years of my life doing something else and I wanted to start this when I'm 40. I want to stand in front of God and say, every single hour of my life, I solved a problem. I lived my life solving a need. I lived my life doing something that I was excited about. I travel places because of purpose. I don't travel for fun. I travel because of purpose. I actually got a call from Prince. I was supposed to travel today, but then I said, no, let me push it to tomorrow because of the event today. I was like, I need to be here. So that's the point where I got to. So this is a redefinition of the reason why we should step into entrepreneurship. There is a best life for every one of us. And the best life it comes from self-fulfillment. You know, sometimes I always say, sometimes it's not about being selfish. It's about being self-full. That you focus on your being, yourself. Because I believe true honor comes from the honor of living the truest version of yourself. And even though we are talking about entrepreneurship, you are an entrepreneur. You are a human being going to serve human beings. So if you get the whole connection wrong, even with yourself, you cannot do anything for people. So if you cannot be and live the truest version of yourself and identify the truest version of yourself, because our full-time job every day is to continually identify who you are and why you were meant to come here. That is our full-time job. Every day you have to keep rediscovering that part of you. So when you keep discovering that part of you, you get to find out what you can do here. And then now when you pursue, you are pursuing your best life because you like, I don't care about whatever anyone says. I want to be and live the best life that I want. I want to be like this. This is what I want to be. So let me just pursue it. And these are some of the reasons why we should step into business or entrepreneurship. Not because somebody did it and it's profitable. Not because you are out of job. Not because there are no jobs. And I believe there are no jobs, but there are a lot of opportunities. And it takes you to be very open-minded to find an opportunity everywhere you are. So that's my take.
Thank you very much, Derek. That's very insightful. Thank you. So I'll move on straight to Mr. Aferi.
I believe people have to go into entrepreneurship because it's their inner will. That's what they actually want. It's their purpose. You know, one day I was just thinking that, are we in this life to just make money, you know, buy all the things we want in the world, you know, like just get everything that we want because we have all the money, or we are in this world to actually solve a problem? You know, we have a purpose in this life. We have to make impact in people's lives. And I realized that you can get all the money you want, but then if you are not able to fulfill the purpose for which you've been created to come and fulfill, you will still not be happy. Let's take Mark Zuckerberg, for example. Before he started Facebook, he had already created Face Mash. Face Mash is basically they put two people's pictures together, and then they ask people to compare the two pictures and see which one is nicer. I mean, obviously, that's something that's not too nice. You know, some people might get offended and all that. He got into trouble in school for doing that, but it didn't perturb him because his passion was just to connect people, bring people together. And so even after getting into trouble, he still went ahead to create Facebook just to make sure he brings this idea of, you know, connecting people together and see where Facebook now, is now. So it's all about finding your purpose or finding your inner will, what you really want to do in life, how much you want to impact people in this world. When I started my business, I got to a point where I had to get a Nigerian to come and work for me. Mm-hmm. After 2 months of working with this Nigerian, I woke up one day, went to the shop, only to find out that all the things that have been bought for him to work had been stolen. There was nothing in the shop. So apparently he connived with his brother, and then they stole everything from the shop. That's just one instance. There's another instance where, at a point, all the money I'd gathered from the business was just 400 cedis. So I gave that to one shirika who I was outsourcing to working for me. The same way, I went to him the following day, and he told me he had bought the materials, but the materials have been stolen. And at that point, that was all the money I had gathered from my business, and I gave it to him. So it means I had no other money. If you look at this person I'm talking about, he's not someone that you can confront to pay the money and he actually be willing to pay or be able to pay. Yeah. So the thought that was running through my mind was just give up, just forget about this business and do something else. But I know before I started the business, I wanted to solve a problem. I wanted to find a solution to a problem, a real need. And so even though my gut was telling me I should give up, I knew I couldn't give up. I just couldn't give up because I knew I had to solve a problem. I had to fulfill the purpose for which I started the business. And then I continued, and then, I mean, this is how far we've come. So, lastly, I'll just say that before you start any business, make sure it's not exactly about the money you're going to make. Because if you hear that people are starting business, they are making money. These days, I see a lot of people starting e-commerce business because they realize that, there's Jumia, he has started,
yes,
and he's making a lot of money. There's Kiku, they're making a lot of money. So everyone is going to business, e-commerce, they're going to technology because they realize that there's a lot of money over there. But ask yourself, is that what you really want? Probably yours might be in agriculture. Yours might be to find a storage facility for our farmers in the rural areas so that their crops would last longer before it gets the market. Probably if it was, let's say, lasting for 2 days, you could find a solution for them where it could last for like 3 weeks or something before so that they can make a lot of money from the crops before it gets spoiled. Yeah, so you need to find the real purpose for which you are living, for why you are created, to come into this world, rather than just following the money or just doing what everyone else is doing.
All right. Thank you very much.
I think that a lot of people have talked about purpose, so I'll move beyond that. But I'll share my own personal experience. How come I entered in business or be an entrepreneur? After school, when you don't have anything doing, that's when your imagination really works hard. When you are hit with a misfortune or something, that's when your creativity, is at its ripe. So at that point in my life, I put a lot of business ideas together. But none of it really, I didn't pursue any of it till I got a job. But anytime I see a problem, that's an idea that I conceived was targeted at solving. Anytime I see that problem, my heart skips a beat. It's like, this thing is still there. This is still a problem. After all these years, this is still a problem. So you just ignore and you move on with your life, doing whatever you do as usual, trying to get by. Then you come across this problem again, and it strikes you. This is still a problem. This is still a challenge, and nobody has tackled it yet. Even if anybody is doing it, it's not enough. So you keep coming back to your drawing board over and over again. Thinking, what is everybody doing that is not solving this problem? Why is this problem still persistent? Okay, so once your instinct keeps clicking, taking you back to your drawing board, to your first idea, you realize that no matter how far you go, no matter where you go or you find yourself, you will still you find that you've been called to do that to tackle that problem, more or less. You've been called to tackle that because you would go over and over again and you still come back to that same issue. So that was the first point for me. After so many years, almost 6, 7 years, almost 10 years, I believe, going all over the place, I still came back to this first problem that I identified that I wanted to solve in the first place. So that is when you know that you've been called to be an entrepreneur, that you have a calling to solve a certain problem. So you have to apply yourself to it, put your resources together. If you have, it means improving yourself to be able to tackle that problem, you have to do that. So that is what I think for me would make you know that you have to be an entrepreneur. No matter what you call it, you are supposed to solve a certain problem, whether in business or as a social entrepreneur or as an advocate or whatever it is. You just have to solve that problem. But these days, you can't do anything for free. You have to commercialize it, make business out of it, make money out of it, because nothing is for free these days. You have to make an investment to get something back or to make an impact. So that for me is what would identify you to being an entrepreneur.
Wow. That's impressive. I think we've had a lot of submissions based on entrepreneurship. But let me give an example. So I finished school, and then I'm home. And I'm not finding a job. So I get 500 cedis from my parents. And then I see that these children, so there's a problem I identify in the corner of my, like there's a school at the corner of my house. And I identify these children always buy biscuits on their way to school. So then I set up a tabletop shop, let me put it, and start selling biscuits. So one, I found an idea, I've solved a problem, and I'm making an impact on the children. Am I an entrepreneur? Okay, but this kind of entrepreneurship that we have in Africa, can it lead to development? Since we are here as youth with the aim of what? Developing our country. So I want our women to address this for us in some few sentences or some few. So can these kind of entrepreneurship that we have in Ghana, because we have a lot of informal sectors in the economy, someone is hard pressed with finding a job and then goes to counter and say, I'm selling shoes. Can these kind of entrepreneurship lead to development?
I would say no, because that's just buying and selling.
Yes.
Okay, so there's nothing really innovative about it. Okay, so we should find a way of setting ourselves apart. Okay, it's if everybody is selling. When remember when face to space, if you'd remember, when mobile phones came first, people were doing this communication centers where you go and you make phone calls and all of that. These days, it has passed. You know, so you have to set yourself apart. You have to project into the future and see where technology is going in your field, where you want to practice as an entrepreneur. What is technology? What is the future of technology in your space? And how is it going to evolve and probably push you out of business? So you have to think about that. You know, if I'm sure in the developed world, you will not find tabletop biscuit sellers anywhere.
Yes.
Because they've moved past that level. Okay, so we'd have to look at where the future is in our space, in our field of business, and see where we can fit. Say 10 years, 20 years, will you still be in business? And how much contribution will that business be for your economy and for yourself, and even for the society, or the kind of problem you are trying to solve? Will your idea or will what you are doing stand the test of time? Okay, is this something that you can still be doing in 20 years, in 10 years? You know, so that is what I think we are not looking at in the kind of businesses we find ourselves in. You know, so will our business stand the test of time? Will technology push us out of business in the future? So we should find a way of embracing technology and being innovative about it and using information and data in our projections for our business, because that is the only way we can meet international standards and contribute to the development of our economies.
All right. So please. So in my understanding, we should discourage.
I think buying and selling is a no-no.
Okay.
Okay. If you are doing I have personally don't subscribe to buying and selling as a business that can stand the test of time.
Okay. So please wait. It's this for the women. So, Emily.
Okay.
Can it lead to development?
It's a very tricky question. It's a very tricky question, but I would handle it this way. Every coin has two sides. So, now the first part of it is, would small-scale businesses lead to development of the country? To some extent, yes. To some extent, no. Yes, because, I mean, when you're even studying entrepreneurship, we have different kinds of businesses. The SMEs these days are even the focus of the banks. if I am not wrong.
Yes.
Because the banking sector has seen a particular opportunity these SMEs are given. This is the trick. In the Western world, food, for example, there's a standard. It mustn't be expensive.
Yes.
The unemployed person must be able to eat. And this is because the nation depends on the livelihood of its people. So people are encouraged to sell, to have small businesses that meet the needs of these people. So that is basically just to cater for. So we're looking at catering for the needs of society, just for maybe sanity of the state and, to reduce vices and whatnot and whatnot. Now, on the other side of development, which is saying no, I'll give an example. The 5 major currencies we have in the world today, which one is heavier?
Pound.
Really? 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 Nope. 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 Kuwait? Kuwait. It's the heaviest currency, even though it's not the globally recognized one. And you know why? There is nothing like second-hand products. They don't import. They create everything they have. Now that is development. And unfortunately for a country that we are in, it's the government's responsibility to ensure that this is a reality. To be honest, Dangote is not what he is today because he
sold on the table.
The government has his back. Whether they are getting their benefits, we don't care. But he is making the nation and the continent proud because the government decided to back him up.
Okay.
So there are two sides of it. Now, if you're sitting here, listen, to be honest, not everybody here would get a job at the time they want or even get a job at all. So you will resort to surviving. So many people who are doing this small scale are just surviving. That's not entrepreneurship. They're just surviving.
So that was my question.
So
if I sell on the table, I'm taking risk. I have an idea. I'm solving a problem.
No, you are assuming. Are you assuming they're solving a problem? Or you are saying, I mean, seriously, merely existing doesn't mean you're existing.
Okay.
You understand? The fact that I'm alive doesn't mean I'm actually alive. I could be a dead person walking. So it's up to the person who is selling. What is your goal? Are you there for you? Mm-hmm. Kentucky Fried Chicken today, at 80 or whatever age he was, decided that, listen, he's more than what he was. He didn't say he was hungry. I mean, he was a veteran. The state was paying him. He could have died a poor veteran. He said, Charlie, there's more to me than meets the eye. He remembered his mom had a secret ingredient and started frying chicken and was selling it to his neighbors. And today, we have KFC almost everywhere by a shell shop. He had a dream that when he died, my legacy would live on. Today, Steve Jobs is not alive. Apple has released how many versions after his death? So people are going beyond merely, and entrepreneurship is not about surviving. Don't get it twisted. It is about making an impact. If you know you want to make an impact, then understand you have the entrepreneurial spirit in you. If you are just moving to survive, you are just moving to survive. So not every businessman is an entrepreneur. So,
okay. So we understand our we have our own definition of entrepreneurship right on this panel. So it went into this way, and then it's come back to being innovative, having an impact. It's not only taking the risk, it's not only solving the problem, but being innovative and also having an impact. Okay, so looking at the projections that Ms. Anita said that, okay, you need to look at years ahead of you. Will my business survive? And also looking at the fact that we want to also bring development. We also want to bring development to our country through entrepreneurship. What are the strategies that a 21st century student needs to have in order to be successful as an entrepreneur? I'll start from Derek.
Oh, okay. Yes. The question again, please.
So the strategies, the business strategies that I, a student who who wants to go straight into entrepreneurship, or because of the realities of unemployment, or because I have a big idea, what are the strategies that I'll adapt in order to be successful?
Okay, so I think I'll first of all talk about sometimes we do not really get the whole strategy thing. It sometimes sounds so, okay, it's good to be slim. So, I mean, it sometimes sounds very vague to people. But for me, a strategy is as simple as this, okay? First of all, let me define a strategy. So, I can get through to East Legon from 37. I can either pass on the normal from 37 to, Shashi, or even when I was coming here, I could pass straight to Okponglo and then take the left and come here. It's a strategy. It's how you're going to get there. It's something that you decide according to your own analysis. Okay. Now, I've been a student before. I'm still a student of life, learning every day. And that's one thing I do. I learn every day, either on YouTube or anywhere I grab inspiration, I learn from there. Here is the thing. The truth, like Emmeline said, most of us here may probably not get a job opportunity after school. I mean, that's a reality. That's the truth. So we should start thinking wide. You understand? Even if you get it, there'll be a point you would want more. It's a human phenomenon. It's a human thing. You get to a point in your life where you want to become more. You feel like there is more to you than just an 8 to 5. And here's the thing. How do you get this whole thing sorted? First of all, right now you're in school, is the time to actually research, you understand, get to know more about yourself first. Because it's about, here's the whole thing about giving or making impact. It's like your cup running over. It's when your cup is full, that is running over, that you can give. Now, the question is, what are you feeding yourself with? So what are you putting into the cup? Because what is in the cup is for you. What comes out of the cup is for people. So if you do not focus on what you are putting in your cup, then you will be less. That means you are making people thieves. They are stealing from your cup because there's not much in your cup. So most people actually graduate from school empty, and they are going to sit somewhere and give out of what? Nothing. That is why they are not effective. They are not productive, because they've not fed themselves over the 4-year period of being in school. They just came out with a certificate that costs probably like 3 cedis to print. So if you go through school after 4 years and all you come out with is a certificate, then there's a problem. So it's what you are feeding yourself with. This is the time you have to feed yourself with ideas. Look at the problems. There are lots of opportunities around, because Ghana has a lot of problems, and that's why this place is a good place for business. Because once you have a problem, there's business. Imagine Ghana was perfect. Trust me, some of us will be out of work. There will be nothing to do. You have to join the masses. You understand?
Derek.
Yeah. So, okay, let me run out. So you have to find that problem for yourself. Now invest in yourself at this point. Invest in knowledge. Get to know how it's done. Get to know the industries. Who are the ones leading the industry? What are they doing? Learn. And one thing that we don't do as students is, at this point, we don't like volunteering. Volunteer. What you want to do, look for an organization that is already doing it. Just say, hey, I'm here. I want to work for free for 3 months just to learn. And learn. Okay, and when you add it onto yourself, you become rich, and then it gives you an upper hand in wherever you are going. I'll leave the rest for my...
Okay, so I want to vacate my seat for the CEO of Wazuri Enterprise. Yes. And we'll move straight to Emmeline. Yes.
Am I to answer the same question?
Yes, the same. So the strategy. So, and after that, you make it a bit snappy for us, because we are a bit behind.
Strategies to survive entrepreneurship in the 21st century.
Yes.
Technology. It's as simple as that, as Derek will always say. Technology. You cannot reach the audience, that is, after you have found out what you want to do. You cannot reach the people you want to reach out to without technology. I work in media. I've been there for 4 years. Scarily, we are being informed that we are moving from the traditional television and radio to the online platform, which means going forward, you'll be listening to your radio, the radio stations are now moving online, which means you need the internet. You understand me?
Yes.
You cannot be seated here and only know how to use technology for Facebooking. It is not possible. Even if Facebook is the only thing you know, Facebook is not just a social networking site. It is a business site. Instagram is a business site. Even Snapchat. It would amaze you the amount of, I don't know what word to use it, weird businesses now exist on social media. The so-called slay queens and slay kings and whatever have, it will amaze you. They have maximized these platforms crazily. They show you pictures of seductive dances for free for the first 5 seconds. And they tell you, if you want a full video, pay this amount. And it's there. And I was surprised. How many of the businesses here today have leveraged on technology as these people we seemingly have put aside from society have done? I had to learn this because of that. You don't learn this in school. You don't learn this mostly anywhere. You have to apply yourself to technology, to be honest. So whatever business idea you will get from here going forward, whether you get it or you connect with somebody who have the idea and say, partner with me. For the 21st century to survive and to thrive and to last is technology.
Wow. So Prince. Yes.
Okay, so I'll answer it as in being a student. So what I'll say is, he mentioned it, work for free. If you want to survive in this world, and as young as we are, you have to know a lot of people. And as young as we are, we cannot start charging people the same way KPMG charges VGMS to do the work for them. For you to be able to get the referrals that you want, for you to be able to be introduced to people that can make your business grow, I tell you that if you are starting your business from school, work for free for a lot of people. Because it's based on that experience and it's based on that work that one day KPMG can come and tap you, that's going to do this thing for me. I'd like to share an experience. I've been writing articles for free for a lot of people. I don't charge them anything. But I didn't know that gradually I was taking up a skill in writing and writing. Just last week, a CEO of a Fortune 500 company contacted me on LinkedIn. And what did she want me to do? To write an article about her. At first, too, I didn't say that I'm going to charge her for anything. I just wrote the article and it went viral. Guess what? She was so impressed, and even though she's not in Ghana, she said when she comes to Ghana, she wants to meet up with me. Now, I don't know, through this person, I might get to meet the CEO of Facebook or the CEO of someone or some company. So as young people, let's try as much as possible. We are students. We don't even need much money to live or to survive. Let's get to work for people for free. Let them get to experience our services. Then through that, I think we'll go to lots of places with our businesses.
All right, thank you very much. Now, let's allow you to relax a bit. Then you just zoom into the discussion. So, Ms. Anita will take us through the strategies.
I also subscribe to the idea of technology. Then beyond that, using technology, we have to look at using data. You know, you do your business projections and all of that. You need numbers to justify anything, especially if you want people to invest in your business. You need to get the basics, your baseline, so that you can showcase impact. And you have to be able to be committed to investing in your own business and quantifying the investments that you make. Sometimes we put in our time and our energy and we don't quantify it. We don't put value on ourselves. So when you are, for example, pitching your idea to someone, the person realizes that you haven't invested anything into the business, so why would that person invest in you? So you should be able to quantify your investment in the business in terms of time, the idea, the product, your transportation, your printing work, everything you have to quantify. So data is very important to position you to be able to attract other investors. So that is what I would say for now. It's a strategy you could use to make your business grow.
All right. So one, I'll say get constant information, like constant learning. You have to arm yourself with information. Go to the internet, buy books, read about whatever field you want to go into. Read about entrepreneurship in general. There's a study that shows that if you should read 1 hour every day on your chosen field for 5 years, after 5 years, you're going to be the best in that field. So make sure you read. Guide yourself with information. That's the best thing that can help you in running your business. Because trust me, once you start your business, there are going to be so many challenges, so many problems. And at that point, the only thing that can help you is how much knowledge you've gathered about your business or how much knowledge you've gathered about that particular problem and the solution that you can actually come up with to solve that problem. And you can't get this from anywhere but from the books and the things you read online. So guide yourself with information. The other importance of getting information is the fact that it actually takes you like 2 steps ahead of your competitors. Because once you're always reading, you're always coming up with new ideas to add to your products and your services. So every time you are steps ahead of your competitors. And so you have to read, you have to get information every time. Don't stop learning. Continue learning. Once you're an entrepreneur, you can never stop learning. Once you become an entrepreneur, it becomes a part of your life. So you learn throughout your life. Okay. So the second thing I would say is thorough market research. Before you start a business, make sure you already know the market you're going to serve. Don't just assume that your idea is so good that people are going to just give you money for it. No. You need to understand that whatever you're going to provide to them has a lot of value. And so before you start, you go to the field, you talk to your prospective customers, ask them if the idea you are bringing to them is good, how much they are willing to pay for it, how often would they want to pay for it. These are all bits of good information that can help you, give you that confidence before you even start your business. And it might even surprise you that once you are doing these things, you can even get ready customers before you start your business, or like waiting customers before you start your business, because they've already heard what you are bringing on board, and then they like it, and so they've registered or like they've subscribed to your idea. They're waiting for you to start, and then they pay you for it. And so do thorough market research, get information, use technology. Social media is there. Once you start marketing, right now social media has leveled the playground, and so you can now compete with companies like Vodafone, MTN on the same platform on social media. So you can pay small amount of money advertising your products on social media, just like the way Vodafone and Facebook are doing. And so you also have a reach to the huge market out there. So use technology, that's social media. Use online marketing platforms. There's Jumia, there's Tissue.com. These are companies that can help you easily market your products. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but there's one thing I want to say about Jumia. What they do is, when I started my business, I was in school. I was in level 300. I didn't have time to go out and do delivery and all that, but I was selling my products through Jumia. So what I'll do is I'll put my products on the platform, and then immediately I get a customer, I receive a message. And so I just talk to the customer, do the arrangement. Jumia comes to me, picks up the product, and do the delivery. And then at the end of the day, they'll just pay the money to my account. So all I'll do is put my products on the platform, and then I'm making money. They give me the customers. You get it? So you have to read, know the technology out there that can help you maximize your business. That can help you, grow your sales. So that's basically what I said about it.
Okay, so before the CEO of Wazuri Enterprise, yes, takes or gives her opinion, if you have any question, you should start penning them down, and then after her submission, then you can also ask your question. All right.
Okay, so I just want to add up to what my brother here said. For the market, you need to know your market. It's very important, okay? And you don't need to, as I don't know how many of you have completed, but when you get to level 400, you have like thesis to write, and then you put up some, what do they call them? Not proposals, the questionnaires.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
You don't need to do all that to go, because when I started, that was what I thought, okay, to be able to know my market, you have to get researchers and come, and then they'll put everything, and then we'll go to town, when take. But I realized that you don't need everybody's opinion to be able to decide what your market, your target market is. I went for a program, and then I asked one of the participant that, okay, so if I'm to bring a product like this, okay, what do you think about it? He said, okay, it's nice. Maybe it should be like this. It should be like that. Okay. I'm driving and I get to the filling station. I asked the lady, okay, me the product we say about all better. So say the so you know that. So based on this informal collection of information, you are able to even tell that, okay, this is your target market. So then it reduces the stress for you to now get, okay, so now I know corporate are my people and you're corporate for a phone. So you know, so you don't really need to spend much getting to know your target market. So many people say, okay, before you start a business, you need much. Even myself, at the point sometimes I think, okay, I need a lot of money to be able to do this, to be able to do that. But in actual sense, when I sit down and then as my brother here said, to be able to put down strategies to know, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go. Okay, when I go there and it doesn't work for me, I come back. Okay, it didn't work. Oh, let me do it like that and go there again. Okay, now it has worked. Okay, somebody refers me from there to another place. Okay, okay. So, you know, with all these things that you do, you are able to build up on your knowledge on what people want and then how you can even form your product or your services to suit the people that you are looking for. I hope you get what I'm saying. Yeah, so Facebook CEO Mark said, ideas are not fully formed. Like, okay, I have an idea that today I want to build a 2-bedroom house. It's a good idea. Okay, maybe I have some coins in the account I can use to. But when I start, then they are supposed to do foundation, and then the money in the account is not enough. You see that, no, it's a good idea, but the circumstances around me cannot make me achieve that goal. I hope you understand. So it's something you need to start. When you start, you know that, okay, this is what works for you. Then you take it from that step. Or else you would sit down and think all is well. So you get there and see that, no, all is not well. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But you need to introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Adowarem Luguzuri. I'm the CEO of Wazuri Enterprise.
All right, thank
we
you.
sell coconut. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so those of us who have our questions ready, I think we will take 3 for now, and then as the program goes on, then we take the rest. So 3 questions. This is the time you have to participate in the program. Yes.
Okay. So I think I'm listening to.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations, first of all, to all our panelists, and I've listened to all of them. Very powerful, educative, and insightful. But I didn't hear from all the submissions how we are going to get, like when you get yourself to become an entrepreneur and then doing all the things, all the impact, solving the problems and everything, and you are getting even the compensations from it. Now, I didn't hear anything about quality management, like, okay, recently there is this course that we are studying in UPSA, is called Total Quality Management. And total quality management approach is saying that you've got to be doing what you are doing it right the first time and better next time. So I've not heard anything like that, like quality doing my business, doing it the quality way, like getting it to be, they mention innovation, and then, but they didn't mention creativity. I think creativity will add to me putting or making my product or my service or whatever I am putting out there to solve the problem, making it attracting people because I'm bettering on it. I keep improving on it. I've not heard anything like that. I want to ask if this also is a factor that we should look to when we are planning to go entrepreneur.
Okay, you're welcome. So, should we take the next one? So he was asking about you.
I'm not sure he was asking a question.
What?
I'm sure he was trying to sort of add to. But then it was mentioned, but not directly. TQM. You see, when you go to school, you have book-long definitions. So I understand you. I was like you before. When you come to this side of the table one day, you don't have time to define books. We give you applications. We tell you real life. So if you were listening intensively, you would have grabbed. And I remember I mentioned standing out. If you stand out, you're creative. Yeah? You keep standing out, it's consistency. And that is what TQM is about. So I appreciate the fact that you've brought us just in case people didn't get it. So indeed, we have spoken about it and you are correct. So thank you.
Okay, let me add something, okay. You see, you know what you want. Okay, my brother here mentioned that you need to work on yourself. Okay, if you don't have, you don't give what you don't have. If I don't have 1 cedi, I can't give you 1 cedi unless I go and steal for you. I hope you understand. So if you fill yourself with the knowledge, you fill yourself with constant learning and all that, you would know that, yes, okay, I am doing this. I need to progress. And based on the feedback I am getting, okay, I need to shape it this way. Because sometimes the customers are right. Let me take myself, for example. I started, when I started, okay, I was separating the food. Okay, we do packaged coconuts, okay, so we have the coconut water and the food in the cup, so it comes with a straw, spoon, blah, 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 so that you can enjoy your coconut, okay. I started and then I was doing just the water separate and then the food separate, okay. So I take it to a customer and the customer goes like, this thing, you can put everything together and it's not my idea, oh. It's not my idea. Somebody bought something and I'm going to deliver and it goes like, you can put it this way. And, okay, so I go home and I try it. Because I want to go for it. I want my business to grow. I want my business to be an international business. So if it makes sense, oh yes. And trust me, it sold well. I hope you understand. Another one came, okay, you are using a spoon to take the white part, the meat, the coconut meat. Why don't you use a fork? It made sense. You understand? So based on the information you get, based on the knowledge you also acquire, based on the constant learning that you need to apply it to be able to make yourself better. And by applying it, you are being creative. By applying it, you are being innovative. So if they talk about innovation and creativity, they are the same. Or they work hand to hand. If you are not creative, you can't be innovative. I hope you understand me.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone would like to?
Yeah, I just want to add to it. I would say there are so many parts of business. You know, we have the accounting side, you know, the side where you have people coming in partnership, investor side. But there are two core things in business which actually make your business successful. Your products, the quality of your products, and the distribution that you have. If we take Dangote, for example, what is really making his business? I mean, there's the fact that the government is supporting him and all that. He has partners who are helping with money and everything. But if he didn't have good products and good distribution, he won't go anywhere. And so you can't start a business and then you compromise on the quality of your products. So that is something that it should be the first thing on your mind. You come up with good products, and then you make sure that you do your research very well, and then you create good market so that you can actually sell your products through. If you talk about creativity, Dangote didn't just get distribution. He had to go, talk to people, look at various places where there were loopholes where he could actually sell his products to, and then create that channel that he can actually distribute his products. So you have to be creative around these two areas, your market and your product. And once you have the good product, you have the creativity, the creativity to create a good distribution or a good channel. I mean, you're good to go. Thank you.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Yeah, yes. So I'll just add briefly to what he said. With regards to the total quality management, the one we learned in school, okay? but the real one, let me tell you why it's very important. Let me tell you why we are failing at it. We are very bad with people. That's the first thing we have to do. People are great on social media, amazing on social media, but human relations, we are bad. And do you know why we are failing in business in that regard? Because your products and services is for people. So you cannot give anything to people when you're not good with people. And that is the reason why people are failing in business, really. Because their people skills is terrible. People are terrible with people, but great with their phones. So you walk into a place, and it will surprise you if we are going to do a networking session. Some will be standing at the corner. They don't want to talk to people. But your business is for people, and it needs people to survive. Your team is human beings. Your customers are human beings. Partners are human beings. No matter how much technology is taking over in business, in the end, there are people behind the technology. And if you're able to have in your mind that you have to be good with people, you can serve them, and your quality management will naturally be, you'll be that good. Like your service management, what does your business mean to a customer? What does a customer mean to your business? You understand me? When you get these things right, you get on track. And one thing about creativity is this. Recently, I was telling someone that over the Easter holidays, I evolved. Right in my eyes, I saw myself evolve into something else because I redefined myself. I rediscovered something interesting about myself. And it changed my lane of business. I changed the way I work. Even with our business plans, I remember I drew a plan for a client in the US, and they were supposed to get $1 million with a business plan. And then when the investor saw the plan, it was like, wow, this is good. I want to put $4 million in here. You understand? Then now we started a relationship. Yesterday, I did a plan for a client who went and then pitched for an investor, and then they were like, the business plan is good. And this is the reason why. Let me tell you some questions I ask my clients when I meet them for the first time. I ask questions like, why are you doing this business? Okay, what does this business mean to you? These two questions brings out some answers that it will surprise you. I'm tackling creativity from a different angle, because this is what I did with creativity with my work. When it comes to business plans, I tell the story. So you see the story of the business. You see the passion of the business in the plan. You can feel it right in the business plan that this is something that I can connect with. And when you're able to tackle your business that way, everybody's coming through the front door. Everybody's doing the regular stuff. But people have something that if you tap into, you can really give them something that they will stick with you forever. Because if you are now going to build a clientele for your business, which is one of the important drivers of your business, you need clients. What is a business without the clients? It is something which is there. You understand? But if you're going to get clients, you have to tackle it from a different perspective. That people need something. What is that one thing that people are looking for? They want someone they can trust. They want someone they can feel comfortable with. It is nice that your clients can call you at 12 a.m. and tell you that, Derek, I'm afraid to do this thing. Derek, my relationship is falling. What should I do? It is nice. It means that there is a relationship established. And if you are good with people, trust me, your total quality management, your creativity and everything, it will fall in place because you know what they want and you know how to give it to them, when to give it to them, and why you're giving it to them. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Derek. So I'll get to you. Because of the time, and then we are running a bit behind. So we'll take just one for now, and then as the discussion goes on, we take the rest. But then those who are watching us on Facebook can also throw in their comments. And then their questions, so that our panelists addresses them for them. So the gentleman there, yeah, you can ask your question. Hold on, so that everyone hears you.
My question is, in this day and age of technology, we all have business ideas, and I believe the idea you have is not just for you. 1,000 others and several people around the world have the same idea. How do you balance how quickly you get your idea onto the market and still make an impact and make sure that you stay authentic to your business plan, keeping it original, and then how fast you can get it onto the market? I'll use a typical example. Sony, they had the idea of digitizing music, but they waited so late, and then Apple took it up and then brought the iPod. So Apple beat them to that, even though they had the Walkman and everybody was enjoying it. How do you make sure that your idea that you have, you can get it quickly onto the market and somebody else doesn't take it? And then also, there was no mention of the business environment in which you want to operate in, do they matter? So you want to operate in Ghana. Does the business laws and the business policies in the country also affect how you want to do business? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Very insightful. Yes.
Okay, for me, it's not about how fast you want to start your business, but it's about your idea and how you want to implement it. There's somebody who might have an idea of Facebook. If you're in Ghana, it'll take you 10 years, but if you're in the US, it'll probably take you a year to launch it. So I wouldn't agree that if you want to start a business and you want to grow it to become multinational, it's about how fast you start it. I'll give you an idea. In Ghana, we have a lot of award ceremonies. The award ceremonies that can come today and be bigger than VGMAs. And there are award ceremonies that were before VGMAs, and up to now, they are still the same. So it's not about how you start your idea or how quickly you start it, but it's about how far you want to take it. So if you want to take it far, then that's when you get to derive or create strategies and see how best that your idea can impact people, and also which people would be able to use your idea and even send it across borders. So it's not about how fast you start, but it's about how far you can take your business. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so quickly to add on, when it comes to authenticity, okay, that's one thing that I've realized in business. Every business, just like ourselves, keeps evolving. So you cannot be static. The way you started wouldn't be the same way you should expect to end. In fact, your financial plan, it may actually not be the same as the reality. So most of the time when we are doing business plans, we have a disclaimer clause in there, because the actual thing would happen would be different from what you projected. It's natural. Just like ourselves, you keep evolving. I've rebranded like 3 times over these past 3 years. Yes, that's because we keep evolving. So what matters most is starting. Now, let me tell you why I've been passionate about people over these past few weeks or months. Is that I believe that everyone seated here obviously has an idea, some of you even probably know more than what we even talked about. But what is making people not be able to do what they have to do? Most people are afraid to start. I mean, where do I start from? Where do I start from? Start from here. Start it. You know, one interesting thing about business that I love is that when you start it, you keep learning. So you keep molding, evolving and then evolving and evolving. So you have to give room for the business to grow. You have to give room for yourself to grow into your business. And I believe that even as the role of the CEO, one thing I wrote in my first book, which is subtitled Growing into the Role of a CEO, is that it's a role you actually grow into. Because every now and then you are evolving. And as you evolve, your business also evolves. Because you are the brain behind the business. You understand? Now let's talk about the ecosystem, or let's say the business environment. Yes, the rules and regulations do matter. If you're in Rome, you do what Romans do. You have to be very respectful to the laws of the land, because you are here operating. You understand me? So you always have to make sure you are finding out, what am I supposed to do? Am I registered my business? Is it the right kind of business to register? Am I, when it comes to partners, percentages and all of those things, make sure you take your time and understand them before you go and give out 50% to somebody for giving you 1,000 cedis just because you needed 1,000. You understand me? So you have to be very smart with all of those things.
All right. Thank you very much, Derek. Yes. You want
something small? Okay. What I want to say across is that you should always understand that what motivates you is not what motivates me. You want to do coconut. There are so many people who have called me, how do I start my coconut business? And at the onset, I thought, Charlie, why should I share my idea with you? And me, I'm going to suffer. But I spoke to a few friends, and then they told me that, no. You need to share the ideas. Share them, okay? Because you don't know what keeps me up at dawn to work. It's not what keeps you up at dawn to work. So how I would end up bringing out my product is not how you're going to bring out your product, because the same product but different strategies at which you are going to bring it out, different target market. Because the market is large. The market is large. You understand? You want to dominate, fine. It's a good thing to dominate. But you can't capture the whole market. I hope you understand. So yes, in as much as other people will be doing their thing and all that, just be you. Invest in yourself. And when you invest in yourself, trust me, there's nobody like you. There's nobody. Nobody. So in actual sense, there's no competition. I hope you get me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, I want to add something. Yeah.
Please make it a bit snappy for us.
Okay. You give an example, so I also want to give an example. Google. Before Google started, they were kind of making softwares for Yahoo. And so you go to Yahoo search, and then you try to search for something, and then whatever results that come, they'll tell you powered by Google. So Google was probably kind of under Yahoo, yeah. And then they were trying to get close to AOL. I don't know if you know AOL. Yeah, it's also another a tech company. Yeah. So what Google was doing was they had so many ideas. They wanted to move fast. They pitched an idea of Google AdWords to Yahoo and AOL, but they were afraid to move into that space because they didn't know how people were going to take it. But Google had so many ideas. They were energetic, and so they just came out anyway on their own. And now Google has taken over Yahoo. Yahoo is nowhere to be found anymore. And so you're talking about how you can be swift, come into the market so that you can take, majority of the market shares. You have to make sure whatever you're coming up with is different from whoever is on the market already. So your idea has to be new. It has to be genuine. It has to be, even if it's the same as something that's already on the market, how well can you modify it to be of greater value to the customer than what's already existing on the market? So that's what I'll add to it.
All right. Anita? Yeah. Okay. So now we've gotten to the most interesting part of the discussion, where I hope all of you would like to listen to the submissions of the panelists. It's about funding. How do I fund my business? So I have the idea. I'm solving a problem. And definitely, if this idea goes through, it's going to bring about an impact. And most of us, especially myself, whilst a student, I used to go to these programs and I asked myself, why did I even come? Because the panelists are lying to us. How can you tell me you can start a business without money or without funding? How can you tell me, oh, for me, I call this woman and then she gives me food and I go and deliver it to Mr. Kofi at the HFC bank and he pays me, I go and pay the woman and then take the other half of the share. How can a business even move on? Have you calculated the other risks and all that? So I'm hoping our panelists will not lie to us and be truthful to us and tell us, how do we fund our business, especially in this kind of environment that we are in our 21st century? Looking at building a business that can employ someone, building a business that can stand the test of time, building a business that can develop our nation. Yes, so let's start from Anita.
Yes. Yes, you need some money to start a business, but it doesn't have to be big money. Okay, because when we think about money to start, we are thinking of some thousands of dollars or some big money somewhere. You don't need big money to start a business. Most of the businesses we have, the idea that we have grown into big businesses now, we didn't need thousands of dollars to start them. Google didn't start, or Facebook didn't start with millions of dollars, but now look at their value, okay? So we don't, see, it's how well you have developed your product. And once it gets to the market, it will fund itself, okay? Once you develop your product very well, people are eager to buy it, and you rake in the money very soon. But what I would say is that there are a lot of funding out there. There's a lot of funding out there for startups. Now, Ghana, we have a lot of opportunities for funding startups. Another way of getting money for your startup is when you put together a very good business plan. Okay? When you have a very good business plan, there are people who are eager to invest in ideas. So you have to position yourself in such a way that your business is sellable. You know, you can commercialize it to the point that whatever investment you put in, you can get it back. Another thing is that you have to, even though you don't need a lot of money to start a business, you need to invest something in that business for anybody to be interested in putting money in it. If you have a business, you haven't spent a penny in it, nobody is willing to risk putting a penny in it, because you yourself, you are not confident in your business, you haven't invested anything in it. So I wouldn't put my money in it when you yourself, the idea owner, hasn't even put anything in it. So you have to make some commitments. You have to make some savings to put in your business. It doesn't have to be millions of CDs. It doesn't have to be thousands. 1 CD, 2 CD, whatever money you put in that business, you have to document it and show it as evidence of your contribution to the business. So that when you pitch it anywhere, the other investor will know that you have invested so much into it and are willing to put that risk. If you are willing to put in that risk, then he will also be willing, or she will be willing to put in that risk. So you would have to make some investment in that business idea that you have. Then somebody else will be willing to do it. So there are lots of opportunities for pitching for attracting investment for your businesses. Now we have pitching competitions. We have these banks have opportunities, SMEs, there are funds available for those things. Another thing I would let you know is that now we are in the age of the Sustainable Development Goals. So if you are lucky to find your business in any of the goals under the 17 targets of the SDGs, then you are likely to get funding for that. Now, if you go on LinkedIn and so many other platforms, we are targeting 2020 as a year where a lot of climate-related actions are being encouraged for people to solve some climate change issues. Okay, so to take action in that space. So if you have an idea that fits within that framework, there's funding. There are millions of dollars out there sitting ready for people to take to advance their business ideas in that field. Okay, so you have to just search and you have to apply yourself to it. You can't just put in a shoddy business plan for somebody to invest in it. You have to apply yourself. You have to prove that you are competent to deliver on that business idea that you have. Then people will be willing to do that. So the opportunities are many. SDGs, there are 17 goals, and in each of the goals, there are millions of dollars available for people to take up and use. Okay, so it is how you position yourself. It's how you find that money. And it comes with a lot of commitment. There's a lot of... if you get money from that, you have to apply yourself because the targets and the standards are very high now, because we didn't meet the Millennium Development Goals. Now the standards are high. So you'd have to apply yourself diligently to be able to access those funds. And they will follow you and make sure that you don't squander their money. Okay, so you have to, the funding is available, but you have to apply yourself to get some.
All right, thank you very much, Anita. But okay, you mentioned you don't need a lot of money, but you need some money. It's not a question though, but what's the threshold? So if I'm looking at, yes, but it's just...
I think it depends. It depends really. So it depends on the business side. If it's a service you are rendering and you don't really need a product, where it has to go through a production process, then you might not need a lot of money. But if it's a service, if you are offering babysitting services, okay, you make yourself available to families who have to go to work and they have to leave their child to you. You don't really need some capital to develop that, okay? Just making yourself available and doing a good job with it is enough. And you would see that people would recommend you to other people. That's how you grow your business, okay? So you don't need a lot of money depending on the kind of business that they are in.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Safari.
Okay. So my submission will stem from what my sister is saying. Yes, there are a lot of people with the money. There are millions of dollars sitting there in a bank. People have money. They want to invest in businesses. But the truth is, they won't give you the money. Funding is very difficult, to be honest with you. I'll just be honest. Funding is very difficult in Ghana or like in Africa. You have to really prove yourself. Out of 10 people going to seek one funding, I would say just 1%, 10% out of the 10 people would be able to receive the funding. It's difficult to get funding in Ghana. So what I will basically say is you don't have to get huge sums of money to start. I started my business with just 50 Ghana cedis. And I grew it to a point, and at some point, people, there were partners who liked the idea, and then they put money into the business. But I didn't start by going straight to look for huge sums of money to start. So just within yourself, your personal savings, you can start with that. Fine, it depends on your business as well, but you don't have to make up your mind that you want to get $20,000 before you start your business. just your personal savings. You can also talk to friends and family. They are the people who believe in you the most. They might be ready to part away some part of their money to help you start your business. So look at these options. Then if you are not able to get it, there are business competitions out there. There's Tony Elumelu Foundation.
Yes.
There's TechnoServe. There's Anzisha Prize. There's Innovative Prize for Africa. So these are all business competitions that you can apply for funding. But it's like I'm saying, it's difficult to get the money. So once you don't get it, you don't sit back and say, I'm not getting capital, and so let me just hold on until I get the money. Just the little money you've saved in your bank account, just start with that money. If you are willing to put in your own money, because before an investor will give you money, he will ask you how much of the money you put in the business. If you are not willing to put your own money into the business, why should he risk his money? So make sure you started something from your own account. You've grown the business to some point before you can start resorting to other funding options.
Okay. Thank you very much. So from their submission, you understand that there are a lot of opportunities, and you need to have a smart business plan. Yeah. Don't allow Derek to leave without contacting him for how to write a smart business plan. Yes.
Oh, I have some senior brothers here, so I'll allow them talk before I talk.
Okay, so just to quickly add on to what my fellow speakers have said, I think they've touched on the investment. I think it's the same thing, the right thing. But then one thing that I would want to add on is you don't just get the money and then what happens? You have to be very resourceful. So look around you. Okay, I had a second business I started, and this is how I started it. I'm like, okay, I need this amount of money. I talk to friends, hey, I want this. How much are you giving? So a seed in my business. This person gave that. That person gave that. That person gave that. I raised some funds for the business for free. You understand me? That's one. And my company that has, brought me here right now after 3 years, I needed a laptop. I didn't have one. So I borrowed from somebody. That was my capital. So, the thing is really based on how resourceful. Because trust me, if you're not resourceful, I can give you $1 million and you blow it up. Trust me, that's the truth. But some of us, the process has taught us so well that I just know what to do with money. I just give me anything, I'll know what to do with it. You understand? So the key thing is not just about getting the funds. It's really about looking around you first of all. What is available? Okay, I have this big dream, but what is available? You want to start a real estate company. You want to build, fine, great. You need like billions of dollars for that. But what can you start with? As a broker. Okay, somebody's selling his house. Okay, let me take it and sell it. I remember one time I sold a car like that. I was like, oh, you want to sell your car? I'll sell it for you. And I just took it, added my own on it. I pitched it out. I got somebody to buy. I got my profit. Simple as that. I could start a garage gradually if I want to go in that lane. You understand me? So start from somewhere. At times it's good to have a big dream, but sometimes we really are not ready for the big dream. We just think dreaming is enough. But are you ready for $1 million really? Can you manage it? Like, if we give you $1 million right now, will you be able to manage it? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So that's the point. You know that you have to be very resourceful. So it's not just about getting the fund, but being resourceful. And like our first speaker said, you have to be accountable for the money that people are putting in your business. So if you're not resourceful, you put yourself in big trouble. You understand me? So, resourcefulness is very key. And then also looking around you, what is available, using it and making the best out of it. I think there's more fulfillment in that, knowing that I was able to start this with this amount of money. So if you're pitching to an investor, he knows that, okay, this person is good. If I give him 10,000, he can make me 30,000 within 3 months. You understand me? That's what you should aim at getting to. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so to touch on it very shortly.
Yes, shortly.
I think we all have big dreams, but the thing is, let's learn to start small. We are all inspired by the success story of Facebook, but none of us go to learn how Facebook started. We all see MTN flying around, but we don't know how even MTN started. They all had an idea, and they started from a point because they know that one day they want to grow big. So let us not always have the mindset that if we start a business today, it might be like MTN. By all means. I think that's the reason why most of us do not start our ideas, because we want to get $1 million before we start our idea. But guess what? I met an investor once, and he mentioned something that was very intelligent. Somebody came to ask him for $1 million, and he sat down and laughed and asked the person, have you seen $1 million before? That is the truth. We've not even seen the money before, but we want it, and we have quantified it that this is what we really need to start our business. But if we take 100 cities to start something, you never know how much is going to grow and become something very huge, that even your story of growing it from 100 to 1 million can inspire others to also start. So I think let's think big, but let's also learn to start very small. Thank you.
I don't need to add my voice again. They've said everything. Thank you.
Okay, so practically, quick one. We are all entrepreneurs here, and our panelists, we're very selective. So I want them to share their experience with us. As in, how did they come about with their team? And for the years that they've been in operation, what are the challenges that they've come across, and how did they solve? So let's make this our final submission. Then we take the questions from them. Yes.
Okay, so talking about team, I mean, if you have a good team, your business will grow. But if you have a bad team, your business will not even last. There are several ways that you can actually build a team. If you're starting a company today, I'm not sure you want to employ somebody or want to push somebody from a bank. So one of the things that you can do is that you can actually outsource your work to family members. There are a lot of family members who do accounting that can even help you with your books. So I think if you want to start a business, try and see whether you can look out for family members to help you. Another thing is try and get interns. I mean, we are all young and we all want to learn. So if you want to start your business, try and get people who are willing to learn from your experience. Then you can hire them, and then together you can do that kind of work. And another thing too is about partnership. You don't have to do all the works. There are companies, for example, there's needs that happened recently. They could try to do the investigations themselves, but they give it to PwC because they know that they can do a better job. So even if you have a good company, try and see how you can partner with other people to provide services that can make your business grow. Not necessarily that you have to employ someone to come and do that for you. Mm-hmm. And for me, those are the things that we've applied to what we are doing, and it has helped us so far.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so teams, that topic is something I'm very passionate about because of my experience with it. I made some mistakes in the past, which I'll share with you. One mistake I did was that I put out an application, a vacancy notice for my company at a time when we were still like growing a little bit. It wasn't so good. I mean, the truth is that for about 2 years when I started my company, I wasn't making much money. I was like really not making more money. I had to do a lot of free stuff. Yet I had to buy the coffee for the client at the meeting. So like it was really tough for me, but I kept moving on until we got to that point where I made my first few thousands, and then I thought, okay, I need help. We need to put our company out there more. So I recruited like 2 business analysts for the company. But here's a mistake. They didn't really buy into the vision of the company. And they left, and I suffered that I would wake up mornings and there are threat messages from people that I didn't even know, threatening to destroy me, destroy my brand, because one of them actually left and didn't get a job again. And thank God we are still here after all that we had been through. So that is one thing that we learned from. And now we opened up an application for our company for a 90 days volunteer program. The aim is to help students to get practical experience in business. So, I mean, I'm so proud of that we've had students who didn't know anything about our field, and my company, we do events. I mean, we do our startup clinic and all of that. So they get to, like when you come to join, your first task is to do an event for the company. So they learn a lot from that. Now I go to meetings with them and I mentor them like closely. Like at least once a week, I try to meet them. We talk closely, get to help them. Because one thing I believe in is that when it comes to team building, you have to be good with your people. Invest in them. Be themselves, as people. Be passionate about them. Love them. Get to know them. Want to know them. I have a close eye on my team that if you post anything on social media, I'm like, hey, are you okay? Talk to me. And they'll open up and talk to you. You realize that they are human beings. They wake up on the wrong side of the bed sometimes, really. At times, they're coming for a meeting and they are really sad from the house. So you have to know them better. So I opened up an internship program, and it's working. For the past, we've done our second recruitment, and after the recruitment process, you get a chance to join our company part-time whilst you are still in school, so you earn some money whilst you are working. And everybody in my company works part-time, really. So you don't need to do this full-time. It's consulting. So when the job comes, we coach you, you get a job done. We don't pay for now, we are not paying any monthly salaries strictly. But in a month, you could earn something really good for yourself if you work hard. So it has put less pressure on the company. So you can actually adapt that strategy. And then also get to know your people, closely. And I think this is our final submission, right?
Yes.
One thing that I would add to my statement that I made is that when God made the earth, God created heaven and earth and everything that's in it. God had it on his mind. The skyscrapers, the phones, the buildings, the products and everything. God could have just said, let there be airplanes. There would have been airplanes. God could have just let there be skyscrapers. There would have been skyscrapers. But God made man and said man should take dominion over what he has created. So God charged every one of us with something, that you have to leave something on earth before you leave. So if you do not leave something on earth, you become what? A woeful disappointment to God. That is why Jesus cursed the fig tree. The fig tree was there. It was looking nice, but it wasn't bearing fruit. And it got angry and cursed it and destroyed it. So realize that we have a charge on our lives as people. Every one of us. So don't think, so when we were talking about the problems and solutions, I know some people will ask like, but is everybody supposed to solve a problem? Yes, there is a problem that every one of us needs to solve. Every one of us has a purpose here to fulfill. So I want you to know that you are charged. Your life has a charge on it. Because if I'm God, I wouldn't, thank you. If I'm God, I wouldn't just create you to come on earth and then you come back and tell me for the 50 years I gave you, you worked here and that's it. No, I'll be so disappointed in you. So take yourself as God. I mean, I want to see results. I want to see you tell me that, God, when I came here, I met this person that they didn't have a dream, but through me they got a dream. I created this and people got that. You know, like I did this, and every moment I lived in my life, I made something happen. So the question is, what are you doing with your life? School is nothing, work is nothing, but what are you really doing with your life? What investment? What is the results? What is the returns that God is making from your life? Thank you.
All right, Derek. Thank you very much. So, our viewers who are watching us from Facebook, you can still send in your comments and your questions so that they address it as the discussion goes on. So it's AAU TV on Association of African University Facebook. So you can search it and then throw in your comments and your suggestions, even your questions too. Thank you. Emmeline.
Okay, building your dream team for your vision. First of all, you have to be able to exhibit leadership. You would attract who you are. And if you don't have a vision and a mission for what you are doing, you wouldn't even know the kind of people you need to recruit. All right? I mean, you would, at the end of the day, want to be like Derek or Prince or Anita, you know, or, Lugu one day, or even my brother, Afari. You go to, you know, Sao Tome, there's no internet anywhere. So you're not even bothered about your employees calling you, there's a problem. You want to recruit people who have your back. And I plug into late Steve Jobs' comment about recruitment. Recruit people who tell you what to do. Do not recruit people who you will tell what to do. I can imagine you just working somewhere and there's so many problems that nobody even calls you. Oh, boss, we fixed the problem. Those are the kind of people you want to recruit. Whatever business idea you may get in the future, have that at the back of your mind. You have to exhibit leadership. You have to recruit top talent, people who know what they're about, people who have a sense of direction, people who don't need supervision, people who plug into your vision. Like Derek, I could imagine the stress he went through. It's so painful to have people around who don't believe in you. It hurts. It really hurts. So don't be so excited about people who have flashy CVs. I don't recruit when no. If you don't have a patch, if you don't plug into it, I know that won't last forever. So those are things you need to understand. People who are self-directed, and when you get those people, let them be free to also work. Give them that sense of independence in the business. Because if people do not have the opportunity to participate in business, they don't feel motivated. Trust people. You don't recruit people you can't trust. All right? If you meet somebody and you have a funny feeling, don't recruit the person. So connect with people, partner with people that you would trust. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so about a team. I experienced what Derek went through just a few months ago, and I woke up one Monday morning prepared for work. Yeah, prepared. And then I get a call. Charlie, madam, today I can't come. And that one calls, madam, today I can't come. Wow. And that one calls, today, madam, I can't come.
No job today.
Hey,
holiday.
Brother, Stop. Yeah, and we had to go to about 40 companies that day. 40 companies. Only me. I was looking at the letters. Hey! It is no joke. I got up. I moved. I was able to supply all the 40 letters. So the following day, I went 35. Wednesday, I couldn't wake up from bed. I couldn't wake up. Oh, still show. No, yeah, let me try. That was Val's Day. That was Valentine's Day. Wednesday. I mean, it was a Wednesday. I had an order that day too. So I just prepared it at home, and then they came to pick it up. They took. So I was just standing on the compound. I said, God, today, if you don't give me strength, I'm going to sleep. And trust me, I slept and woke up on Thursday. Oh, yes. So the essence of having a team that would stick around is very important, okay? And people will leave at a point. It's normal. I have come to accept it. Yeah, people will leave at a point because at a point you need to figure out who you are, what you are doing, why you are doing it. And when people are around, you won't be able to figure it out. Trust me. When people are around, you need to be left alone. God say, I'll deal with you. This month, you need to figure out who you are. So that brings me to my final words. You need to understand who you are. Most of us were not taught, or most of us were not spoken to about who we were. We were born, go school. What go school every what be fie? What go secondary school? What go university? Where you go pay juma? No fulfillment. So you wake up one day, like we are, is it anymore? No. We wake up one day and we are lost. We've been doing this all the time, but there's nothing. You feel that there's more to it because there are people who are doing it. And if you look, Charlie, if you're saying no crampo, what's a proper crampo saying no, what's a crampo saying no. But the person is doing it and you're not doing it. There's an element that is lost. And that element is understanding who you are. If you don't understand who you are, forget it. And at the point at which we are right now, you need to accept all the good and bad. Because you have been able to pick up some habits. You didn't know. If you knew who you were, some habits are there. You even pick them because I know it won't work for me, so I won't go there. But you get to 20. I woke up one day and realized I was 22 years and nothing. How? No, it's sad. It's sad. Like, you've lived 22 years on this world. 22 years is a lot of time. Oh. It's a lot of time. Okay? The next time you're hitting 30, before you realize now, Charlie, what an everyone have a crow. It's a serious issue. It's something I'm really passionate about because we are not made to understand who we are. So we end up doing things anyhow, anyway. At the end of the day, I'm okay. You understand? So if you've lived 22 years of your life and you're not able, you don't know who you are, you don't know why you were brought to earth, what are you doing? Where are you heading to? Ask yourself that question. Where am I headed to? I asked myself this question for a very long time. That's how come I started doing what I'm doing. Because I realized that, Charlie, I'm sorry. I was doing my service by then. My baby, my bread. I'm tired. I can't do anything by 9 o'clock, mother. Hey, Friday, you have to chill. But Friday, you are tired. No, I hope you understand. And I'm not happy. I'm going to sit in the office. I was doing my service at Maslow. So this demanded an 8 to 5 job. I mean, I like going early because me and traffic, we are not friends. So I go and get there. It's now about 5, and I'm a beefy. And so live. You understand? So please, do well to understand who you are. Accept the good and the bad, and do your possible best to make yourself a better person every single day. We are not perfect. Keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so the question was about how to get your dream team.
And also your experience so far.
Okay.
What are your challenges and how did you solve it?
Okay. So I always say if you are in school, it's actually the best time to start a business, because once you're in school, you have people from lectures, people from your church, people from your hostel who can actually support you, test your business idea for you. So you don't really have to get, outside world. Sometimes before you start your business, you have to get a focus group who you have to pay for them to test your idea for you. But if you're in school, you can get all this done for you for free by your friends. And so once you're in school, getting your dream team will basically come from your friends who can actually help you start your business. If your business needs someone who has to do graphic designing for you, get close to someone who is doing graphic designing. Become friends with that person. Once your business kicks off, you need him to come on board. He might want to provide a service, for you for free or at a lower cost. If your business needs someone who is doing web development, become friends with someone like that. Get the person on board. And then once you're able to do all these things, attract these people to come on board, the next thing that counts is leadership. Leadership is the most important thing in getting your dream team. Because if they come on board and you're unable to manage them very well, they'll all leave you. And how do you lead these people? First of all, let them understand the vision of the company. Let them buy into the vision of the company. Let them understand that there's a bigger picture beyond the small thing that you've started. This is what will keep them in the company. Next, motivate them. Human beings are like flowers. The more you water us, the more we flourish. And so anytime they do something and it's worth appreciating, let them understand that what they've done is worth appreciating. If there's any financial cake that needs to be shared, don't eat it alone. Make sure everyone, gets a share of it. These are things, bits and pieces that can help motivate your team to stay with you throughout the tough times of your entrepreneurial journey. Okay, so lastly, what I'll say is, I believe every one of us here have ideas, and then these ideas we shouldn't die with the ideas, because there are people out there whose lives depend on your ideas. So if you kill the idea, you are destroying someone's life somehow, some way, somehow. And so make sure you pursue your idea. Don't kill it because you are facing some challenges. You are not getting capital. You don't believe in yourself. No. Go out there, pursue your idea, and then save someone's life. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, so for me, I'll share an experience, a very bitter experience, similar like Derek's own. Okay, so I had this idea. I was starting a business at the time. And there was a lady who I think I had good rapport with. And so I shared this idea with her. And she was very enthusiastic in the initial stages. So I was like, hey, I found the best fit for this job. So as time went on, the work was such that it demanded our time very much on Wednesdays. Okay, so it came one Wednesday. I needed this lady very much. I called her, and she was like, so she came. We had a discussion. It was a Wednesday morning, and we needed to do something in the afternoon. And so she said that she would go. She had a meeting. She would go and come back in the afternoon, and we would work on it. I said, okay. So this lady went. I waited that Wednesday. I didn't get a call from her. I decided not to call her. So I didn't get a call from her. She didn't apologize for not coming. She didn't, she just stood me up. Then her reason was that Wednesdays are not good days for her because she goes to church on Wednesdays. And that, it's an evening service, so obviously it would be after work. So I wasn't expecting that to be a difficulty for her. But then she said, because it's a church service, I need to prepare for it. And that I have to read my Bible, and I have to meditate on it, and all of that before 6 o'clock that she would go for the church service. Then I knew that this person wasn't serious about working. So I was wondering, what if you are doing an 8-to-5 job? Would you say because I'm going to church, I'll take time off work on Wednesdays and meditate on my Bible and all of that before I go, So immediately you get to know that this person is not ready to work. Okay? So you cut those people out of your life immediately. Okay? So then I realized later that even though we didn't get to work together, because I had shared the idea with her and all of that, she started posting Facebook messages or publications and stealing, my ideas somehow. But it's, you realize that if it's not yours, it's not yours. You can't even represent it well. Okay? So that is done. But you realize that what I'm driving at is that when you are choosing people for your business, make sure there are people who identify with your idea, who believe in what you are doing. So this lady, I realized that as I shared the idea with them, we started working together. She said, she kept referring to it as your idea, your business. She didn't identify with it. Though even with her gesture and all of that, she wanted to portray like she was in for it. But I realized that her utterances, her body language wasn't really for what the idea that I was talking about. So you look out for those people who come because they need jobs. They would come in a nice way trying to work with you. But you have to fish them out. Fish out people who are in to pull you down, or to make to even steal your idea or not make your idea or your business flourish. So you look out for such people and plug them out of your life. Very important, and as quick as possible. Then the other thing is that once you have when you find the right people, as a startup, really, you have to look for volunteers. You don't need full-time workers. You can't pay them anyway. In Ghana, everybody's looking for quick money, big fat pays. You can't pay people. So you have to look for volunteers. And as young people, this is the time that you can volunteer your services and you can put it on your CV, and that will fetch you the next big job. So be willing to volunteer your services because it's also a learning process for you, for people who have started their businesses. So you volunteering and using interns. Then the other thing is that once you've got your team together, you have to show leadership. And one good way of showing leadership is not to make you the center of it all. It's not about you. It's always about the other person. Like what Derek said, that the other person, I'm reading a book now called Making Friends and Influencing People. I don't know if, Derek, you've read it, because what you've said, it's by Dale Carnegie. Yes. This is a book that was written about 70 or 80 years ago, okay, and it's still relevant today. And every chapter of the book that I read is talking about making the other person the center of everything. It's not about you. If somebody does something for you, show appreciation. If you have to smile to that person, for the person to feel at home and comfortable and talk to you, then you have to do it. In that book, they cite Roosevelt, the former U.S. president. They cite him a lot because he was somebody who, though was a president, knew the names of everybody in the White House at the time. And he would reach out to the gardener, the cook, the porter at the door, and such a person would be remembered, by everybody. So if you are a leader, that is one way of, making your team feel comfortable around you and making your team share or buy into your idea and using them for the benefit of your company. But in so doing, it is always about them, what they want, how they want to contribute. So it's the other person and not you. And that is very important as a leader. Thank you.
All right. So we've come to an end of the discussion. And then before I move on to we are not taking any questions, unfortunately, but yes, because we are far behind time. But then I would like to say thank you, a very big thank you to our panelists who shared great ideas with us today. And I want someone to summarize everything that we've said here. You can summarize the first section, someone can summarize the last section for us. And you get a chance to at least catch the eye of our panelists, yes. And okay. So, our lady here, your hands, what's up? Yeah. Okay, Sammy. Okay, to you. Okay, so You can come here. You can come forward, please. Please make it snappy for us. Yes.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our wonderful panelists once again. My name is Samuel from UPSA. I've been speaking to Derek, but he doesn't know I've been speaking to him. Yes. I met you through Lami, and listening to what you have all shared has inspired me a lot. I run a team myself, and hearing from you today has been very insightful. So in total, what I've learned today is that you have to have an idea compulsorily. It's compulsory, because day in and day out, there are problems I'm sure we all face one way or the other, and that out of that problem, you can build something around it if you think hard, use your brains, and you think, and you pursue that problem that you've identified with a possible solution to that problem. I am sure if we all pursue our dreams, we'll make better Ghana place in Africa as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Samuel. Thank you. All right. Make yours snappy for us, too.
Okay. I want to define the entrepreneur as they said.
Yes.
In my own ways, I say entrepreneur is someone who has known his potentials, know the need of the people, and brought the need of the people through development. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. And then the next one will be on how to find funding opportunities. Someone make it brief for us. Funding opportunities, yes.
Okay, Jijo, I'm a nouveau Cluche. I don't have a team yet, but I will someday. Funding opportunities, from what I learned, nothing is too small. So long as you have a dream, so long as you're driven by it, by all means you find a way. So long as it's a passion, you will find a way. And it doesn't matter, like Derek said, what would you do with $1 million? Or 1 million Ghana cedis? What would I do with 1 million Ghana cedis right in front of me? Right now, sincerely, I don't know, but I can imagine so many things coming in there. But trust me, so long as you have a dream, so long as you have a passion, 1 million Ghana cedis might even be too small.
Yes.
Yes. Because of where you are, your mindset, because of what you are looking at, 1 million Ghana cedis might even be too small for you. But again, if you have a dream, you can easily achieve no matter the amount. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And the final one, how to find your team, the dream team. Someone make a summary of it for us. Okay.
I'm Asma Vincent Itru from UPSA. So, finding your team, what I've learned today here is all about searching out for the right people and sharing with them the right idea you have in mind. This is what I got to understand today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So this brings us to a close of our discussion on entrepreneurship. I hope we've all learned something, and as we go, it's either we form a team or we come out with a brilliant idea which can sell across Ghana, across Africa, and the world as well. Thank you for coming.